Hey folks, welcome back to another random video on productivity tools. So today we will talk about Tmux. Tmux is basically a terminal multiplexer, as it states over here, and it is basically like a terminal manager where you can have multiple terminals in a split screen or vertical split fashion, and it also allows you to detach them and reattach them. So it's a pretty nice tool for productivity gain and once you'll start using Tmux, you won't go back. It's pretty awesome. And the good thing about it is that it is available on at least all major Linux distros. So, and I think it's also available on Mac as well. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, so I have the GitHub repo for Tmux, and you can also check out the Getting Started guide, which basically contains, you know, all the information that you need, how to go about using Tmux, and what are the shortcuts. Now, Tmux uses Emacs-based command combinations, which with master key being Control B. So I'll briefly walk you through over them. And the idea is that I will show you the main things that I typically use Tmux for, like creating a new window or splitting my terminals, and also attaching and detaching sessions. There are a lot of terminal management utilities out there, but one advantage that Tmux has is that its ability to save your session. So say you have like a bunch of windows open, which with a bunch of commands already entered in, you can end Tmux, but your session will still be saved. So say when you log in again or you remote into your server again, you can resume your Tmux session from its previous state. So that is pretty cool. That is something I use all the time. So let's just jump into its usage. All right. So I have set up a keystroke logger. So on the bottom right of my screen, you will be able to see what I am typing and all the key combinations that I'm typing. Um, and I have my WSL Ubuntu opened up. So I'm using Windows, but I have WSL2 installed and I have an Ubuntu session on it. So let's begin. And I have this white notepad opened up so that it's easier for you to read the keystrokes. So let's begin. First of all, you can start Tmux session by just typing Tmux, and this opens the Tmux session. So first things first, at the bottom, it tells you what your session is. So it tells you you are on Windows 0. That's your first window. Then here it tells you hostname, which I've blanked out because of course I don't want my hostname on public, and then time and date. Right. So to use, and this session you can use like anything else. So if I say pwd, you can see, you can use your regular Linux commands just like that. Now, all the commands in Tmux need a main control key. And since it's Emacs-like or Emacs type, the main command or the main control key, I don't know what's the exact terminology, so I'll use control key. The main control key, or the master key rather, is control plus B. So control B is the master one. So any Tmux key combination that you will use, you need to first press control B, you release control B, and then you press the um, the command that you want to use. So let's say I want to split my window. So I want to like split my window vertically. So what will I do? I'll first press Control B and then percentage. So voila, I now have two windows and they're completely independent. So here, if I do pwd, you can see um, I'm out. I can just use this as is. Now, if I want to split this again, what I can do again, Control B and then release Control B and then press percentage. Another split. Now, if I wanted to split vertically, then I have to use the double quotes. So again, always use the master key first and then the key combination for using Tmux. So master key Control B and then I press coats. So I've split it now. I've split it vertically. So now here, like this is pretty awesome. Like I can see multiple things in one go. So let's say here I do cd. Um, let's say I do a directory mkdir test and cd test, and I do pwd. I'm inside test, and I can do ls on it and whatnot. Now, if I want to cycle between different windows, I have to use arrow keys. And again, press the master key, Control B, and then your arrow keys to circle between the different windows. So Control B again, left takes me to the first one, Control B, right, Control B, right, Control B, up takes me to um, the top window. So this is telling me where I am right now, this green bar. So it's pretty easy to navigate. Um, Again, you can remap the master key combination Control B to something else, but then I like it Control B because it doesn't interfere with other things that I have. And there are more efficient ways to go about cycling through the windows, but then I'm telling you the base Tmux key combination, which is Control B and then the arrow key. So this is good. Now this is, you have a list of windows. Now let's say I want to close a window. Closing, or rather I want to close particular terminal pane. Closing those is pretty easy. It's Control D. It's the universal Linux combination. So let's say I want to close this bottom one. So first I'll navigate to that one. Control B, right arrow, Control B, right arrow, Control B, down. I'm here, and I press Control D. Boom, done. Deleted. If I want to remove this, another Control D. I removed it. Pretty straightforward. All right. So we are still working in one window. Let's say you wanted to create a separate window where you do some other task. So let's see. To create a new window, the key combination is C. So Control B plus C. So first I do Control B, I release it, and then I press C. Notice at the bottom there is a 1. So what that means is a new window has been created. So this can have its own panes, its own split terminals. So let's say um, create a vertical split here, and uh, let's say I have a node session here, nano test, and then I'm typing out this is a test. Great, I'm writing this out, and now if I want to go back to my previous window, what I will do is previous is the key combination is P, and the next one is key combination is N. So Control B P or Control B N. So I press Control B and I press P. Takes me to the previous window. So you can see the asterisk mark over here, which tells you which is your active window. If I want to go to the next one, Control B N. Pretty awesome, right? Now, another interesting key is, let's say I want to make something full screen. So let's say I am on this, let me go back, Control B, and then previous is P. So I'm in my original window. Now I want to do some text editing. So the nano file that I had opened, I want to, focus working on it. So what I will do is let's first navigate to my second window because it's in my second window, Control B, N. For the next window, I am here. I'll press, so Z is the key combination for making it full screen. So Control B and Z makes it full screen. Control B and then Z, boom. Now I can work in full screen. If I want to go back, I'll use the same key combination again. Control B, Z, Control B, and then a Z takes me back to the split screen view of Tmux. Pretty awesome, right? All right, so let's say I have these sessions opened up, and let's say I want to log out. I'm done working, but I want to save these panes and this session that I'm working with. So let's exit out of Tmux. So by the way we will exit out, So one way to exit out is you do Control D on all your session. That completely destroys your Tmux session and then it can't be recovered. But the other way of doing it is detaching it. So the keyword is D. So again, Control B, and then I press D. That detaches my Tmux session. And notice it says detached. So now let's say I log out and I log in back. And I want to resume my Tmux session. What will I do? So first, I'll do an ls, just like regular ls. That tells me that there is an active Tmux session. Its name, this is the name, you can again change the name, but its name is 0. It has 2 windows. So to resume it, you need to do tmux attach -t, and then you pass in the name. So 0 is the name here. And then boom, I'm back to my session. So let's change window to the next one. And then you can see I am exactly back where I was. That's some awesome thing about Tmux. If you want to know about more shortcuts or more key bindings, the keyword is question mark. So Control B, question. So this tells you a bunch of bindings. So bind key is the master key, and then you have different key combinations that you can change, or different things to do different tasks. But in general, what I showed you is kind of what I use. Sometimes I have to split windows, sometimes I have to create new windows, split terminals, create new windows, and that's more or less what I use. My prime reason for using Tmux is basically this ability of attaching and detaching sessions, which I find pretty useful. So I think this is it for this video. Yeah, please like and subscribe, and I'll be back with some more cool videos next time. All right, bye guys.